Hello, friends. Welcome back to Story Time. Today, the story is about the Magic Tree House, a Merlin mission. Moonlight on the Magic Flute. Moonlight on the Magic Flute by Mary Pope Osborne. Chapter 6 Under the Moon. Good grief, breathed Jack. That family has problems. Maybe we should help them, said Annie. No, we can't, said Jack. Right now, we have our own problem. We have to start working on our mission. Darn, I should have asked Nan's dad about the artists in the palace. I think he's too upset to think about that now, said Annie. You're right, said Jack. So we need to find some friendly people who work here and ask them. Let's go look for help, said Annie. As Jack and Annie started toward the door, Nan rushed into the room again. Has Wolfie come back? She asked frantically. I'm afraid not, said Annie. Oh dear, Papa will die if Wolfie doesn't return soon, said Nan, near tears. Can you help me find him, please? Well, we would really like to, said Jack, but please, said Nan again. Please, Jack sighed. Okay, he said. Sure. Thank you, said Nan. The palace is very large. I will go this way and you go that way. Surely one of us will find him. She hurried out of the room. I will bet I know where Wolfie is, said Annie. The garden. Remember he kept talking about the garden? Oh yeah, I think the garden is below that terrace where I went after everyone laughed at me, said Jack. Let's go check. Jack led Annie back through one of the elegant palace rooms and into the party room. Everyone was still seated, eating dinner and talking loudly. No one noticed as Jack and Annie hurried through the double doors and slipped into the room of the terrace. Jack opened the door and he and Annie stepped outside. The air was chilly, but it felt good. Jack pulled off his hat and his wig. He gave his head a good scratch. Annie looked down at the moonlit garden. Do you think that's garden Wolfie was talking about? She said. The silver light of the full moon shone on a large square with flower beds and fountains. Woods bordered the square. Cricket sounds filled the night. Probably, said Jack. Wolfie. There was no answer. Let's go down and look for him, said Annie, leaving his wig and hat behind. Jack followed Annie down the stone stairway. As they started across the square, a strange sound came from the woods. Hey, what was that? Said Jack. Two creatures scampered out from the trees. Ah, said Jack. Don't worry, said Annie. It's just a squirrel and a cat. The squirrel dashed over the flower beds and disappeared. The cat ran after it. Yeah, but what was that noise from the woods? Said Jack. I have never heard a squirrel or a cat make a sound like that. Another sound came from the behind the trees. Oop, oop, oop. What was that? Jack said. An owl, maybe? Said Annie. I have never heard an owl make a noise like that, said Jack. Have you? Kirlo, Kirlo. X. What was that? Said Annie. I don't know. Those woods sound like a jungle, said Jack. Wolfie, yelled Annie. There was no answer. Wind shook the treetops. The cricket chirps grew louder. This place feels really weird. Let's go back inside, said Jack. I don't think Wolfie's out here. Wait a minute, said Annie. I think I just heard him. Jack and Annie both listened. A faint little cry came from the woods. Annie! Jack! Wolfie's out there, said Annie. Wolfie! She picked up her hoop skirt. She hurried across the square and disappeared down a path that led into the woods. Annie, wait, Jack called. He started after her, but then, whoop, 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 Jack froze. He was sure the whooping sound was not coming from an owl. Ee, ee, ee. Was that an Annie screaming? Jack wondered. Annie! He yelled. He dashed across the moonlit garden and ran down the path to the woods. He stopped between the trees. Annie! He called again. Ee, ee, ee. Something leapt down from a tree branch and landed on the path. Ah, said Jack, jumping back. It looked like a baboon. Eee! The baboon bounded away. Curlew, curlew. Jack looked up. Overhead, a huge crane glided through the air. Curlew, curlew. A crowned peacock stood in the moonlight, fanning its green and gold tail feathers. What's going on? Jack thought. This is crazy. Hey! The peacock cried again. Jack heard a rustling in the bushes. Something was moving through the woods, grunting, snorting, and growling. A huge bear lumbered onto the moonlit path, standing on its hind legs. The bear looked about 10 feet tall. It growled. Hi! Jack croaked. The bear growled again. It stepped toward Jack, racking the air with its huge claws. Jack began backing away. Then he turned and ran as fast as he could. As he wound his way between the trees, he could hear the bear crashing through the woods behind him. Whoop, whoop, whoop. A dog-like animal bounded across Jack's path. Jack recognized it. It was a laughing hyena, a creature he and Annie had seen on the plains of Africa. What's going on? Jack wondered again. Where are these animals coming from? Jack, yelled Annie. Over here? Jack was hiding behind a tree. Jack ran over and crouched beside her. He could hear the bear growling and thrashing through the brush. A huge bear's chasing me, Jack said. I know. He was chasing me too, said Annie. I saw a baboon, a hyena, and a crane, sputtered Jack. What's happening? I don't know, whispered Annie. Look! From behind the tree, they watched an ostrich prance through the moonlight. Behind the ostrich, a gazelle stepped softly over the path in the woods, looking from side to side. Then the peacock strutted back into sight, fanning its luminous feathers. It's like a zoo in these woods, said Jack. Oh, wow, that's it, said Annie. What do you mean, said Jack. The zoo? That's where they are from, said Annie. Remember, our coach driver said the palace had a zoo. But zoos have cages, said Jack. The animals don't just roam around free. Jack, Annie. Wolfie's voice was close by. That's Wolfie again, said Annie. Oh, wow, I will bet Wolfie let the animals out of their cages. Help, Wolfie called. Oh man, that kid's crazy, said Jack. I know, but we have to help him, said Annie. Annie picked up her skirt. She and Jack crept from their hiding place and walked cautiously down the path. Jack, Annie, help me. Jack and Annie kept going, stepping in and out of the shadowy moonlight. Suddenly, Annie gasped and pointed. Wolfie was sitting in the crook of a tree up ahead. A large spotted animal was crouched below him. A leopard, whispered Jack. The leopard looked up at Wolfie and growled. Thanks for watching the video. Continue the remaining chapters in my next video. Thanks again. Bye.